Welcome to the Kingdom Culture Podcast that was created on purpose with a purpose to empower, uplift, and guide others to the center of God's perfect will. Kingdom Culture family, welcome back to the Kingdom Culture Podcast. I hope you guys are having a great week. This week, I wanted to talk about self-doubt, what it is, where it comes from, and how you can overcome it. I think we've all gone through that. We've all gone through that feeling of not feeling like we could do something, not feeling like we're good enough, smart enough, quick enough, to not do something. And self-doubt can, creep in and hold you back from becoming the best version of yourself. So I wanted to let you know that it's not something permanent, something that you can overcome and keep overcoming so that you don't have to stop. So I'm going to share with you how to break free from it and start believing in yourself again. So if you got coffee, water, tea, grab it and let's get into it. First, let's talk about what self-doubt is. At its core, self-doubt is that little voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. It can come from our past failures, criticism from others, or even just the pressure we put on ourselves to be perfect. But the truth is that everybody experiences self-doubt. Even the most successful people have faced moments where they didn't feel like they were enough. So if you're feeling that way right now, you're not alone. What separates people from overcoming it to those who get stuck is how they respond to those feelings. So at one point or another, you felt self-doubt. For me, I can think back to when I first started my gym journey. I thought that, people were going to make fun of me because of my leg. Or they were, because of my leg, sorry. Or they were going to say like, oh, what is she doing here? She's going to hurt herself. She doesn't know what she's doing. And, that self-doubt kept me from going into those doors. Like, I'd go to the parking lot, sit in anxiety in my car for 10 minutes, and then roll back. Roll back home, drive back home. And I was doing that for a while until I finally said, like, you know what? No, I don't know if that's true. Like, I don't know if somebody's going to make fun of me. I just have to go in and experience it. So self-doubt can truly, stop you. And that little voice can make you not do things that you really want to do, right? So where does self-doubt stem from? And it's from fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. Sometimes it's rooted in our past experiences, like being told we're not good enough by someone we care for or admire or look up to, or failing at something that was important and that we really worked at. These moments stick with us, and we start believing that because one thing didn't work, it never will. I don't know if it happens to you, but you try something and it doesn't work your way and you never touch it again, ever. But in reality, I think everything takes practice, right? Everything could be successful. Are you going to be your best at everything? Of course not. But I think we give up on ourselves too easily, and we have this perspective of, if it didn't work out once, it never will. And I wanted to give you guys a perspective shift, and I want you to, to know that your past does not define your future. Just because you failed before doesn't mean you're destined to fail again. Each new challenge is an opportunity to prove to yourself how much you've grown. For me, I think that businesses, right? I've been an entrepreneur for years now. I started when I was 17, made a little money. My first company closed down, and then I started another one, made a little money. I left that company, launched my own brand. That didn't work out. The brand died off. I even had sweaters, t-shirts, everything, and I just didn't grow as fast as I wanted it to. So left that. But I wonder what would have happened to my first brand if I just kept going and, did some tweaks and did some research and learned a little bit more about what it meant to have your own brand. Because in reality, I don't know if I would have kept going, I don't know if I would have failed. If I would have kept going towards, just keeping that brand open, I'm pretty sure it would have made, something. And now I have Kingdom Culture, which I told myself that I was never going to quit. So I think that past experiences shouldn't shape our future. It shouldn't keep you from trying again or trying new things, right? Another key point is overcoming self-doubt. And it isn't about waiting until you feel 100% confident. It's about taking action even when you don't. Confidence comes from doing, not from thinking about doing. The more you push through your doubt and take action, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable. Think about a time when you were scared to do something, but you did it anyway. How did you feel afterwards? You probably felt powerful. You probably felt like a rush of anxiety, joy, happiness. Each small victory builds your confidence over time. So even if it's just one step today, take that step. Progress, no matter how small, is still progress. Taking action is the one thing that I tell everybody to do. Just run and do it. My mindset mentor taught me this thing where he said, have you ever heard the phrase, ready, fire? And usually it's ready, aim, fire. Because you're, concentrating on your target. You're trying to make sure that you actually hit your target. He said, no, because that delays your action, And so he just says, ready, fire. And when you're ready, and just fire, that means that you just pick up something and do it. And if you mess it up, that's how you figure it out. So mess it up and figure it out is what he always says. And I've taken that since I learned it, and it's been so freeing, to be honest, to just get up and do something and decide okay, cool, I want to try this and do it. Because that has built confidence. That has allowed me to trust myself more, to know that I am capable of so many different things. So I want to encourage you to take action and figure out small things that you can do to build your confidence, like trying a new shirt perhaps, or going to dinner by yourself. Because if you can be by yourself, that also builds confidence, because you're spending time with yourself and you know yourself more, and you can show up as your authentic self. Try saying hi to a stranger in a line. Try ordering, a difficult thing from the menu. Try launching an ebook. Try hitting the gym. Whatever it is, just take that action so that you start building the confidence behind it, and you realize that you are so much more capable than the boxes that you've put yourself in throughout the years. So take action. Another big part of overcoming self-doubt is being mindful of who you surround yourself with. If you're constantly around negative or critical people, it's easy for that energy to rub off on you. But when you surround yourself with people who believe in you, who cheer you on and remind you of your potential, it can be a game changer. So take a look at your circle, right? Are they building you up, or are they feeding into your doubts? And if you don't have people around you yet, don't worry. Sometimes the first step is being your own biggest cheerleader, but also look for communities, mentors, or coaches that can support you on your journey. And let's separate that for a minute. So you can have people. I always say that people either make you feel good or they don't. My mindset mentor also mentioned something about, are you the lighthouse or the towboat? And the lighthouse, right, is the light, and it guides the towboats everywhere. Or you're the towboat that's dragging, or it feels like people are dragging, And I always say, you know what people in your life make you, want to do better, be better, show up for yourself, because they're being leaders, and they're taking the actions necessary, and they're not actually just telling you, hey, you can do better. Those are the people that you need in your life. Leaders, people that show you with their actions what it means to overcome self-doubt. And then you have the naysayers. Like, I think we all have those people in our lives. For me, I've just learned to love everybody but not take anything to heart, if that makes sense. Love people with grace and hold them lightly, because I know myself and God tells me every day who I am, so I don't have to, I guess, carry or listen to the negative, comments or things that people say about me or to me. But if you have a good, circle, if you have a community of people that believe in you and cheer you on, that helps a lot, because it's not like you're looking for validation, but hearing, I am proud of you, it makes you feel good. Also, people that hold you accountable is very important. One of my mentors for my business says, sometimes you just need that little push in the back, right, to get you out of your comfort zones. And sometimes you need just the self-love talk, but sometimes you need to be held accountable and realize that you're not putting your 100%. You're not showing up like you need to. And so, because that's been taught to me, that's what I try to do with my clients, and make sure, like, hey, you have to show up for yourself. I can give you all the tips, I can give you all the tricks, but you have to put in the work. You have to show up for yourself. You have to want it more for yourself than I want it for you, or nothing is going to change. And so having those types of people that want you and push you harder and allow you to see that you can actually change your life and level up is so important. So take a minute today, to reflect on the people that are around you, and allow yourself to see if people are feeding you good things, or if they're limiting you, right? Another thing for me personally, right, because I hope you guys know that I'm a Christian. So personally, one of the biggest sources of strength for overcoming self-doubt has been my faith. When I remind myself that God has a plan for me, that He sees my worth even when I struggle to see it, it shifts my entire perspective. I know that I'm not walking in this journey alone, and that obstacles I face aren't meant to stop me. They're meant to strengthen me. So if faith is part of your life, lean into that. Pray for clarity, for courage, and for strength to push past your doubts. Trust that you were created for a purpose, and that self-doubt is just a temporary hurdle, not a permanent barrier. So allow yourself to sit with the Lord and say, hey, so what's my next step? I'm feeling fearful today, and I don't know what my next best step is. Can you guide me? And this has been amazing to kind of let go of the pressure, because obstacles, or anything that you face is not a hard stop. It could be a redirection. It could be, just something that you have to get over, so that whoever you're helping tomorrow, you could be a testimony to that person or help them, because you have already gone through it. So everything in life teaches us something, and we need to realize that that's what it is. Life is beautiful, even with the ugly, even with the self-doubts, even with the big walls that pop up. The life that we live is beautiful, and there's something always to be learning. So with faith being one of my main, foundations, I've realized that I don't have to stress. If something doesn't go my way, if something fails, God will still turn it into good. It will still be good because I've learned something. It will still be good because I can testify and say, you know what, sometimes things fail, but God's right there to pick me back up and give me my next thing. And what we lose hurts, but the Lord always has something better. So if faith is your big foundation as well, just lean into that. Allow yourself to have time with the Lord, and really, truly listen for what you're going to do next, because it's really helped. As always, right, I give you guys a Bible verse The Bible verse for this week is Philippians 4:13, which says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. This is one of my favorite verses because any time that I'm feeling fear, I say this verse to myself. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Fast. Because it's true. If I believe that, the God that is with me will not let me fail, I'm not going to let my self-doubt get the best of me. I'm not going to let my fear stop me. I'm not going to let the fear of the unknown, the fear of not knowing if it's going to work, because I only get to see the next step. Or if you're in a car, the next 100 steps or miles or whatever, you can only see what's in front of you. You can't see, tomorrow or the next day or the next day. All you have to do is keep showing up and walk your walk with faith and allow yourself to realize that God has you. And if you're not a believer of the Lord, self-doubt can really cripple you. So lean into your truth, lean into those friendships, lean into, allowing yourself to know who you are, and you're, building that confidence of who you are so that you don't let self-doubt, stop you. You are capable of so much more than you realize, right? Let's remember that self-doubt is natural, but it doesn't have to control you. By changing your mindset, taking action despite your fear, and surrounding yourself with positivity, you can overcome those doubts and step into the greatness that's waiting for you. Remember that every time you face doubt, it's an opportunity to grow. So embrace the challenge, take that step forward, and watch how far you'll go. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If this message resonated with you, please share it, put it on your Instagram stories, tag me, give it to somebody that you might need, you might think needs it, right? And as always, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And also leave a review, right? I'm learning a lot about the podcasting space, so if you leave a review, it'll help boost the video, but it'll also give me feedback and things like that. So thank you so much for being part of the Kingdom Culture family, and we'll see you guys next week. God bless.